Okay. So now, regarding yes no questions, we can use rising tone like are you happy? Are you sad? Here, yes no questions are those questions which can be answered by yes or no. If I ask you, are you happy? So, what is the answer? Yes, I'm happy, or no, I'm not. So, yes no questions are those questions which can be answered by yes or no. And regarding yes no questions, you can use rising tone. Are you happy? Did you do that? So, yes or no. Do you like tea? Here, you can use rising tone. And regarding the statement of a number, you can also use falling tone, rising tone. Like suppose I'm telling the phone number, so my phone number is 1 2 3 4 5 6 5 6 7. The last digit should be no falling tone, but the rest are out while we pronounce the phone number digits, the statement of a number, our tone is rising here. 1 2 3 4 5 6 5 6 and 7. So regarding the statement of a number, we can use rising tone. Regarding request, apology or sorrow, we can use rising tone. Here it may be sound confusing because please sit down. Here, how can I use rising tone? It may be sound confusing, right? Because usually what do we say? Like please sit down. Here the tone is should be rising, but you have to say firmly, like let me pronounce, please sit down, please sit down, in this way. Pass the cup please. You should be polite, but the tone should be rising. Now, regarding complaint and dissatisfaction also, you should use rising tone, like you didn't post the letter. Regarding WH question, which is showing politeness, we can also use rising tone, like how's your father? How's your brother? How are you? Showing politeness, because I'm asking about your well-being, right? How are you? How is your father? Our tone is rising, but you should be polite also. Okay. Now falling tone. Oh yes, another point. Intonation is very flexible. Suppose don't don't be confused. Like yes, regarding these 2 points, commands. Regarding commands, you should use falling tone, and regarding request, apology, and sorrow, you should use rising tone. It may sound confusing because while giving commands like shut the door, here maybe you think that our tone is rising, shut the door, right? But actually, the rule is while giving commands, you should use falling tone, and you have to say in this way, like shut the door. Here the tone is falling, not rising. The tone you have to listen at first, listen to me carefully. How I am, how how I pronounce, like shut the door. Here I am saying firmly, I am giving, because I am giving commands, but my tone is falling here. My tone is not rising. So shut the door, right? So these two things, which may be, it may sound confusing, but don't confused, because intonation is flexible. Suppose if you use rising tone while giving commands, this is also not incorrect. You can say open the door, open the door. Here my voice is rising, so our tone is rising. Or shut the door, our tone is rising. If you use rising tone, then also it's correct, because intonation is flexible. You can change it wherever necessary, but according to the rule, according to standard English usage, you should use falling tone while giving commands. So you should pronounce like shut the door. Our tone is falling, but you have to say it very firmly, because you are giving commands. Now,
Excuse me, ma'am.
yes, Tanya.
Ma'am, I have a question regarding presentation.
Okay.
Ma'am, hello.
Yes, Tanya. You can
Ma'am,
ask.
ma'am, due to fever and some illness, I was not present in previous two classes and my presentation was not done.
Okay, then
Ma'am,
in our next class, I will give you the opportunity to give your presentation. Okay.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am.
Okay. Now, regarding invitation, you can use falling tone like why don't you come and dine with me? Regarding exclamation, you can use falling tone. What a lovely flower! What a lovely flower! My tone is falling here. And regarding tag questions, you should always use falling tone. Like tomorrow is Sunday, isn't it? Here, isn't it is tag question, and tag questions are used to confirm something. So, for confirmation, I am asking, isn't it? And you should always use falling tone regarding tag questions. So, tomorrow is Sunday, isn't it? Okay. So, we have discussed about stress and intonation. Do you have any doubt? You can ask me. Otherwise, we will start practice. We have to practice, otherwise, our concept will not be clear. Oh, yes, one thing is difference between stress and intonation. We have discussed about stress and we have also discussed about intonation. Now, can you tell me what's the difference between stress and intonation?
Ma'am, stress is mostly on a particular sentence.
Ashok, mute yourself. Okay, now we can continue. Someone is asking me something.
No, ma'am, I'm
Oh,
telling that
Sangita,
word stress
yes.
is mostly pronounced on a word, given stress on a word,
Okay.
and that intonation is mostly uh, rising and falling of a sentence.
Right. Okay. Good. So, stress is when we give, when we emphasize on some words or syllables, and intonation is regarding pitch. Suppose, if we say, what a lovely flower, what a lovely flower, we are giving stress on the syllable love, lovely, right? So we are giving stress on the syllable love here, but we are using falling tone in this sentence, right? What a lovely flower. So intonation can help you to detect or identify emotion or attitude of a speaker. If someone is saying what a lovely flower, we can guess his or her emotion or attitude, right? But uh, suppose stress cannot help you to detect or identify someone's emotion. No, can't. If we put stress on love, it can't help you to detect the emotion. But if you use intonation pattern, it can help you to detect someone's emotion or attitude, right? So intonation can help you to detect someone's emotion, but stress cannot help you to detect someone's emotion or attitude. And stress is to emphasize some words or syllable, while intonation refers to pitch or tone, right? So this is what about stress and intonation. Now we have to practice. Here you can see a passage. You have to read this passage and you have to put stress on proper words. Who wants to read? Okay, Priyanka is there. Priyanka?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so Priyanka is there. Priyanka, read this passage, the first passage starting with you must try to highlight. Okay, you have to read this passage and you have to put stress on proper words.
You must try to highlight your achievement at earliest opportunity that comes your way. You have to look enthusiastic and cheerful. Mental alertness, alertness is also required. If you are unable to answer, acknowledge and ignorance. Sometimes you may not have completely understood the question. In that case, it is better to seek clarification.
No, Priyanka, you are not following all the rules. At first, you have to identify content words, and then you have to put stress on content words, and you have to also remember all the rules regarding word stress. Then you have to pronounce, right? So, try to do better. Now, who will read? Tanya, do you want to read?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So read the following passage and you have to put stress on proper words.
You must try to highlight your achievement at the earliest opportunity that comes your way. You have to look enthusiastic and cheerful.
Okay.
Mental alertness is also required.
Hmm.
If you are unable to answer, acknowledge your ignorance.
Yes.
Sometimes you may not have completely understood the question.
Hmm.
In that case, is better to seek clarification.
Okay. Okay, so Priyanka is trying. You can do better if you do some practice, but you can do better. Now, let me read. In the first sentence, which are contained words? You, try, highlight, achievements, opportunity, come, way. So these are most important words. Okay. Then I have to put stress on contained words, and regarding word stress, suppose highlight. So we have to give stress on original word or root word that is high. Again, sorry. In the word achievements also, we have to give stress on root word that is achieve, and opportunity we have to give stress on, before it, right, before the it, that is opportunity, and nothing more. So you can pronounce like, you must try to highlight your achievements at the earliest opportunity that comes your way. In the second sentence, which are contained words, you look enthusiastic, cheerful. So, and regarding word stress also, before ik you have to give stress, and you have to give stress on cheer, right? Now you can pronounce like, you have to look enthusiastic and cheerful. You have to look enthusiastic and cheerful. Mental alertness is also required. If you are unable to answer, acknowledge your ignorance. Sometimes you may not have completely understood the question. In that case, it is better to seek clarification. Before son, you have to give stress. So, this is how to pronounce. There is another uh, dialogue between boss and his colleague Yasin. Now you have to read this dialogue and you have to put stress on proper words. Who will read? Okay. Costless and Laxman is there. Okay. So suppose Costless is boss and Laxman is Yasin. Now you have to read this dialogue and you have to put stress on proper words. Are you ready, both of you? Costless and Laxman, are you ready? don't know. Okay. Aditya is there and Abhishek is there. Aditya and Abhishek, are you ready? Abhishek, are you ready? What happened?
हेलो मैम।
Yes, Aditya, are you ready?
मैम कंप्लीटली रेडी तो नहीं है, लेकिन अगर बोलना
Okay, okay.
पड़ेगा तो।
Okay, ठीक है. So, Aditya and you have to try at least. We are not going to judge you. Maybe you are right or wrong, but at least you have to try. Aditya and who is there? Abhishek. Abhishek, are you there?
यस मैम।
Okay. So Aditya and Abhishek. Suppose Aditya is boss and Abhishek is his colleague Yasin. Now you have to read the following dialogue and you have to put stress on proper words. At first, read the conversation yourself and understand the meaning. Then you will be able to put stress on proper words. At first, you have to At first you have to understand the meaning of the sentence, right? Then you will be able to put stress on proper words. So read yourself at first.
यस मैम, आई एम रेडी।
Okay. Now start.
अभिषेक, आर यू रेडी?
Abhishek?
या।
Okay. Okay. Let's start.
Which newspaper do you read, Mr. Yasin? I read it the statement regularly. Which is your favorite column in the paper? The editorial column is my favorite. Since I give importance to could you tell me why do you prefer the editorial column?
Okay. Now the next sentence is missing here actually. Okay, up to that. Now in the first sentence, which newspaper do you read, Mr. Yasin? Here in this sentence, which are contain words newspaper, read, Mr. Yasin. Right. So you have to give stress on contain words. Which newspaper do you read, Mr. Yasin? Which newspaper do you read, Mr. Yasin? Mr. Yasin says, Sir, I read the Statesman regularly. Which is your favorite column in the paper? The editorial column is my first preference. I give importance to the new columns also. Could you tell me why do you prefer the editorial column? So here I am just putting stress on contain words and you have to also remember all the rules we have learned regarding word stress. Like in the word regularly, before li you have to put stress. So you have to pronounce like regularly. Right. preference, importance, in this way. Very simple, just you have to practice more. Okay. Do you have any doubt? You can ask me. Okay, then no doubt. I will upload the PDF of stress and intonation in the group. Go through the PDF and read all the rules. In our next class, we will practice again. Okay. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank